Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. So yeah, my mum just wants me to keep this and this on for a bit longer, so I'll just keep it on. Okay, so right. Jazakumullahu khairan for everybody attending. This is lesson 8 of 10 lessons. So we only have 3 lessons left, including this one. We have done the majority, the bulk of the work. We have done it in those 4 tables, 4 big tables that we learnt. Inshallah, we're not going to get another brand new table that big. Alhamdulillah. Right, so you've done it. You've pretty much, you're on you can see the light, at the end of the tunnel now. You've done the main tables. There's going to be no main big table brand new that you're going to learn. It's just going to be you'll see today, inshallah, it's going to be some very slight modification, very easy, inshallah, if you learnt last week's table. So I will just continue. And this was the trickiest table as well. It's very tricky, even for me, get mixed up, but teaching it this time has helped me revise it better. So we will just go on to the questions. So complete the present tense verbs table for the following root verbs. Alima. So alima was the first one. And what we have to remember with alima is when you make it into, let me just get the annotation tool on.
Your chat comes up now as well. I've actually removed it. It's all right.
The chat is appearing, is it, on your share screen?
It's gone now. It's all right. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, something's really funny today. I'm just going to have to hope it's...
It's all right now, though.
Okay, cool. What about now? Can you see it?
Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum. Can you see the chat screen now?
No, not yours. I can see mine, but not yours.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so alima was the word. What we have to remember is we have to know the vowel on the third letter in the present tense. If we haven't learnt it, we won't know it because there's no formula to learn it. What you can do is think in the Quran when ya'lamu comes. Is it ya'lamu, or is it ya'limu, or is it ya'lumu? You can get an idea from there because it will be correct in the Quran, obviously. If not, then it's the one that maybe sounds the easiest to say. But really, there's no formula. You just have to learn it with the verb. So when you learn the verb alima, you should learn it like alima ya'lamu. And then you know the lam in this verb, has a fatha on it, a zabar on it. So once you know the lam has a zabar on it, a fatha, then that lam with a fatha is going to continue all the way in all of them. It's not going to change. It is stuck. So that is something you have to just learn for the verb you're talking about. So this was the table we had to reproduce. Ya'lamu, ya'lamani, ya'lamuna. The main thing I mentioned as well, that last week, the second persons all start off with da. The third person masculine starts off with ya. Them are the main clues. Over here you've got some difference, da, and ya. And this is why this table is tricky. There's no it's not a set sort of formula. You have to learn. And then over here we have ta'lamina, which normally looks like a plural, noun, but or a plural one of these, but it's not. It's singular for feminine. So again, it was just a matter of regurgitating or reproducing this table. Does anybody have any questions before I move on? Nope. Good.
No.
Okay, so it's just a matter of reproducing the table. Next one, dhalama. So dhalama, for this one, you put it in the same table like normal. The only difference will be is look at what is happening. Look at the vowel on the third letter. In this case, for dhalama, it's yadlimu. For dhalama, it's yadlimu. So yadlimani, yadlimuna, and that's it. So once you know that the vowel on the third letter for this verb is a kasra, is a zair, then the rest of it should be a template exercise. So that's what they are. And then for the last verb, fa'ala. So fa'ala, for this verb, it's yaf'alu. Fa'ala yaf'alu. So the ayn, the third letter here, has a fatha, a zabar on it, so the rest of the table is template work. The whole point of getting you guys to write these down was so that you can memorize them. Because when you write down things, you begin to memorize them. So the job is being done for you. I'm trying to help you do the job of memorizing this table. And it is the trickiest out of the 4 tables that we've done. It may need you just to go over it again and repeat, sort of go over all the 4 tables again. I sent a cheat sheet to the group, so everybody should have it on, like, I think it's 1 or 2 pages. You'll have all the tables that you need on there. Yes, these tables, will you be sharing these tables? Yes, inshallah, I will share the tables as well, inshallah, these. At the end of the class, you will get all these up-to-date slides. The ones that you've been receiving in the WhatsApp group are my older ones. I've been modifying them to make them a bit easier, so you'll get them inshallah as well. Right, how can you work out what the vowel should be on the 3rd letter of a present verb? So the answer to that was, you can't work it out, i.e. there's no formula. You just have to learn it with learning the past verb. So, kataba yaktubu. So for that word, for the kataba verb, the tu has a dhamma on, yaktubu. So there's no formula, you just have to learn the vowel on the 3rd letter by sort of, when you learn the past root word, then learn the present with it. And then that way you will automatically learn it. The good thing is, again, we're not constructing sentences ourselves. We are, just for this course, aiming at understanding what is written in the Quran. So for that case, it's already written. The fatha, dhammas, kasras, the zabar, zair and peshes are already written in the Quran. So that job is done for you. But if you were to reproduce a sentence or try to make a sentence up yourself, then you'd need to know the vowel on that 3rd letter. Everybody happy with that? Most people got that right, the ones who did their homework. And the ones who handed in their homeworks today and the test today, I was really busy today, so I didn't get time to mark them. But get your answers from this, and if you still need help, then let me know. Right, next one. Can I move on?
Yes, you may.
Thank you very much. Right, okay. Right, so this was the test. Translate the following words stating the gender and whether singular, dual or plural. So again, it was just, if you look at your tables, ya'lamu, majority of the time when it's talking in the Quran, it's talking about the male terminology. And for the male terminology, the ya stands for 3rd person. Ya'lamu, he knows. Ta'lamu is 2nd person, mostly talking about the masculine terminology. Ta'lamu means you know, singular. Yes, it can also mean she knows, but the majority of the time it's going to be the masculine, you know. Ya'lamuna, they all know. Again, the ya, 3rd person. Ta'lamuna, you all know. A'lamu, I know. Na'lamu, we all know. Anybody have any problem there? We good to go?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Right, so the next part was, these ones occur less. The ones that we just done before occur more. These occur less in the Quran as far as I know. I think we've got it. I think we've got the figures on the slide as well last week. So ya'lamani, remember the ani is dual. It's a sign of dual. Remember in the marfu nouns, muslimani is dual. So this is whenever you see ani, most likely it's many times it's going to be talking about dual. So ya'lamani, they both know. Ta'lamani, you both know. And you do have that other one as well. Ya'lamna, they all know, plural. Ta'lamina, you know, singular. That's a bit of a tricky one, that. Ta'lamina is you know, singular. And the last one, ta'lamna is you all know. Ya'lamna, they all know. Ta'lamna, you all know. This is the women, talking about women only. Right, okay. Happy with that? May I move on?
Yep.
Okay. So why do you need to learn the present? We've just done that. It's because you can't figure out the vowel on the third letter unless you learn it with the verb. Right, so this is why we're doing it all for. It's for this. This is why we are learning the tables. This is why we are learning marfu, mansub, majroor. This is why it's all happening. So this is essential that we understand what's going on here. So let's start off with this one. Wa and yakhluqu, he creates. He creates. Some people wrote he created, but how can we tell it's not he created? What's a quick way we can tell that it's not he created?
As a prefix.
Yes, prefix. Whenever there's a prefix, it becomes a present verb. If there's no prefix and it starts off with the actual letter of the root word, then it's past tense. So وَيَخْلُقُ, and he creates. مَا لَا, what, not. تَعْلَمُونَ, you all know. Is everybody happy with that one? Okay. One yes means that all those people are happy. Okay. Alright, so لا يعلمون الحق. So لا, not. يعلمون, they all know. Because alima means to know. So يعلمون, so they do all not know. Al-haqqa means the truth. So they do not all know, they all do not know the truth. Yep. Right, next one. Wallahu, and Allah. Ya'lamu, he knows. Wa antum, and you all. We've done this in the verbs, in the tables. Wa antum, and you all. La ta'lamuna, you do not know. Alima means to know. Ta'lamuna, you all know. La ta'lamuna, you all do not know. Okay, I'll just do it again. Sister saying, can you go over it slowly, inshallah? Okay, so wa yakhluqu, and he creates. We've done this in the past and the present table just last week or the week before. Wa yakhluqu, and he creates. Ma, what. La, not. Ta'lamuna, you all know. So, and he creates what you all do not know. Next one. La, not. Ya'lamuna, they all know. Al-haqqa, the truth. So they all do not know the truth. Looking for some feedback on that thing to see if it's fine. Okay, next one. Wallahu, and Allah. Ya'lamu means he knows. So, and Allah, he knows. Wa antum, and you all. La, not. Ta'lamuna, you all know. So, and Allah, he knows. Wa antum, and you all. La ta'lamuna, you all do not know. So, and Allah knows, but you do not know. Next one. Wallahu, again. And Allah. Bima, with what. Ta'maluna, look at this one now. This is ta'maluna. This is ta'lamuna. This one is ilm, alima, to know. This is amala, to do. So ta'maluna means you all do. Basir, sees. So, and Allah, with what you all do. Basir. So Allah sees what you all do. Allah sees whatever you do. We can't always translate literally word for word, because if we do that, it's not going to make sense in the English language. So you have to render it and make it sound like a proper English sentence, so you have to say it in a way that is understandable. That's what you have to do, because you can't translate this word for word. It won't make sense in English sometimes. Right, so I'm not getting any, please go slow, so I think that's fine. So here, this one, qala. So this was a bit tricky because we're in the present tense mode, and here comes a past tense verb. Okay, so someone's asking bima. So over here, it's like wallahu. So the person's asking, what does bima mean? Okay, now literally just outside of the Quran, ma means what, and bi means with. So with what? So, and Allah, about what you do, basir. You know, whatever you do, sees. Yeah, so be is with, ma is what. If you understand be means with, and ma means what, then you're going to understand the sentence, inshallah. So Allah sees whatever you do. Yes? What does it mean? I didn't understand that, Sister Asma. If you want to say it. Basara. Oh, basara means to see. Basura means to see. So Allah sees what you do. That's just the translation here. Allah is all seeing. Okay, all seeing. Take that. Allah is all seeing of whatever you do. You all do. Next one. Qala. Past. He said. It's not he says, because we're starting off with the root letter. There's no prefix in front of this, so it's a past verb. So qala means he said. Indeed, I. Somebody wrote, I think, just I, but it's indeed I. So indeed is inna, and I is the ya. So qala, he said, inni, indeed I, a'lamu, I know. Yeah, azlimu, we did that, remember? Azlimu, a'malu. So I know. Ma la, what not. Ta'lamuna, you all know. So he said, indeed I know what you all do not know. So this is, somebody's asking, this is not the homework, this is the test now. So are you guys happy with that?
Can I please ask, when we learnt ma, it says that it could be what, whatever, or not.
Yes.
Please explain to me how it would be not, because I've only seen how la means not.
Yeah. So you'll get, if the, give an example, if you get a verb coming after it, or if you have, let me just think. Yeah, if you get a verb coming after it, I'll have to show an example. But sometimes when you get it's like a past verb coming after it, then it becomes negative. But it's not. There's a few rules. I don't know. I'll have to go and check the rules. What the rules are. But I think one of them is if the ma comes before a past verb, then it becomes a negative. It becomes a negation. I'll try to get that information for you for next week, inshallah.
Ustad, I think is if it's like let's say yaf'alu, and if you put ma yaf'alu, it'll be he does not know. Oh, he does not. He did not. Sorry.
Yeah. So even this one, yeah. So let me just see ma la
I
what.
think it's a
If it's just if it's just a
future.
verb. If it's just a verb, maybe if it's just a verb, it's going to be not. If it's just ma followed by a verb. So ma, I'm just trying to think of something. Ma, yeah, ma yaf'alu. He does not know. It's not going to be, I don't think it's going to be what.
With ma ta'buduna.
No, that's different. Yeah, so that's why I think it might be past verb. I'll have to check that information and get back to you. Inshallah.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so next one. So a brother, abun, this is vocabulary. Abun. No brothers?
Father.
Abun, what does abun mean?
Father.
Father, excellent. Sister, ahlun,
I'm not doing my homework.
Family.
I'm not
family,
doing my homework.
ahlun.
People.
I'm just going to pause that. Okay. Let's put you all on mute because I think somebody's on mute without knowing. So ahlun is family, like ahlul bayt, the family of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. A brother, ulaika,
Those.
those. Okay, a sister, ayatun.
Signs.
Yep. Ba'idun, brother.
Son.
Far.
Son. One.
No, far.
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 Yeah, far. Is it a brother or sister?
Sister.
Ibnun. Ibnun banuna abna'un.
Sons, children.
Okay. Sons, children. Okay, a brother, sabrun.
Patient.
Patience. Okay. Yeah. Ghaira, sister.
Not.
Okay. Brother, li.
With.
Sorry.
Four.
For, two. So that's coming a lot everywhere because lil muttaqeen, lis sadiqeen, lakum, lana. So it comes everywhere. It's attaching to a word that when it comes as li, it's attaching to a word. Or even when it comes as la, it comes as a prefix to a word. It means for or to.
Isn't it also like?
Like, the ka would be like. Ka. When ka is attaching onto a word, then that means like. Li, I don't know of anywhere where li means like. There may be some places, but I'm not aware of it. Ka is for like. Like dhalika means that is, and kadhalika means like that is. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. La'alla, a brother. Anyone?
For you. Perhaps.
Perhaps. Excellent. Oh, sister on this one, mithla.
Like.
And again, in Urdu we say masal. Masal do, give me an example, give me a likeness. It's the same word as far as I know. Mithla, like. A brother,
Is that a different
malaika,
like?
Angels.
angels. 68 times. Okay, so we're going to move on to today's lesson, inshallah. Lesson 8. What we're going to do in lesson 8 is quite a few things actually. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to learn the future tense table. The future tense, not table, just the future tense. Now the good thing is, the table you've already learnt 2 weeks ago, the present tense table, that is also the future tense table. So there's no new table for future tense. There's a table for past tense, we've done that. There's a table for present tense, we've done that. And the same present tense is also used for the future tense. Am I getting some happy students now? Everybody happy? There's just 3 rules we need to learn in order to be able to determine that there's a future verb going on. So the first way is you're going to use, if I want to say something in the future, I'm going to use a present tense always. I'm going to use the present tense verb always. But there's 3 ways you can tell that the present tense verb here is actually talking about the future. So the first way is the context of the sentence is going to tell you that it's a future verb. How? So I am going to buy a Lamborghini. I am going to buy a Lamborghini. It's present tense. If I say in Arabic, if I was to say next year I'm going to buy a Lamborghini, I would still say in Arabic, next year I am buying a Lamborghini. Use the same verb, but the sentence is telling you it's in the future because I've said next year I am buying a Lamborghini. So it's going to mean next year I will buy a Lamborghini. Does everybody understand that? The context of the sentence is going to tell you. If in the sentence something is showing you it's in the future, then the present verb is going to be used, but you're going to translate it as the future verb, as a future verb. So I am going to the shop. Next week I am going to the shop. It's going to translate as next week I will be going to the shop. Although I'm going to still use the present tense verb. Do you get that, guys? Let me give you an
Yes.
example. Okay, let me give you an example. Thumma, it's in the Quran, this. Thumma, then. Yajma'ukum. What does, without looking at your notes if you can, what does yajma'u mean? Yajma'u. Literally, what does yajma'u mean?
Together.
He
Together.
gathers. So it means, literally, it means he gathers.
Mhm.
So let's just go with the literal translation for the time being. He gathers. Kum means
All.
you all.
All.
So then he gathers you all. So yajma'ukum, literally, outside of the Quran and just generally, it means he gathers you all. So let's just translate that. Thumma, then. Yajma'ukum, he gathers you all. Present verb. Ila, to, or in this case I might translate as on. Okay, on. Yawmil qiyamati, the day of qiyamah, the day of standing, the day of resurrection, the day of judgment. Okay, so let's look back. Thumma, then, he gathers you all on the day of judgment. Now, this sentence is talking about the day of judgment that's going to be in the future. So you will actually translate this as, then he will gather you all on the day of judgment. Then he will gather you all. The will in a translation comes from the fact that the sentence, you know, it's talking about the day of judgment. It's future, it's going to happen. So you automatically will put a will in there because it's a future sentence. You're going to use a present verb, but the sentence is going to tell you it's a future verb. Do you get that?
Yes.
Yes. So it's number one. The sentence is a future sentence. It's talking about tomorrow. It's talking about the day of judgment. It's talking about next week, for example. So you're still going to use the present tense verb, but it's going to translate in the future because the sentence is talking about the future. Right? The other two are easier. The other two ways are easier. The second one is you just put the word sofa in front of the present verb and it becomes future. Sofa. So sofa makes the present verb that comes after it into the future tense. So let's see. So ta'lamuna means, what does ta'lamuna mean?
Others.
You all know.
You all know. So sawfa ta'lamuna means you all will know. You all shall know. You shall know. So sofa in front of a present verb makes the present verb into a future verb. You will all know. Is that good? Are we happy?
Yeah.
Yep. Anybody says no? The comments have disappeared. 1 second. Oh, okay. Let's just see. Will it have a prefix in front of to indicate future? Yeah. We're coming to that, inshallah. Right. So that's point number 2. So one is the sentence will tell you it's in the future because it's talking about tomorrow or next week or the day after, for example. The second way to tell is if sofa comes in front of a present verb, it's become a future verb now. So ta'lamuna means you all know. Sofa ta'lamuna means you all will know. And the last way to tell is when the scene, just imagine the scene of sofa is attached onto the present verb. So instead of ta'lamuna, it will be sata'lamuna. That is also the last way that we're going to talk about how to determine a future sentence. So, yaj'alu, what does yaj'alu mean by itself? Yaj'alu. Ja'ala means he made. Yaj'alu means
He makes.
he makes. And sayaj'alu means
He will make.
exactly. So sayaj'alu means he will make. Allahu. So he will make Allah or Allah will make?
Allah will make.
Allah will make. Why?
It's got.
After.
Yes, good. Because the doer is always marfu. The doer is always marfu. The doer is always marfu. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah here is marfu. So Allah is doing the gathering. So sayaj'alullahu, Allah will gather. Will make. Allah will make. Ba'da, after. Usrin, difficulty. Yusra, ease. So if we're going through any difficulty, any problem, any hardship, سَيَجْعَلُ اللَّهُ بَعْدَ عُسْرٍ يُسْرًا, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make after the difficulty ease. So what is the meaning of sofa? As far as I just know, it's the meaning of the verb, plural, futurified. I don't know what literally the word sofa means. If it even, but I just know sofa ta'lamun means it just makes that verb future. And I just want to point out something else. Say again?
Brother, what's that word there where it says sofa, then it's always used with shortened form? So what's that one there, that word there?
This one,
You
sa.
know, sa. Is it sa?
Just sa by itself. Letter sa.
Yes.
Just joins onto the verb. Instead of sofa, you take off the waw and the fa and you just stick the sa onto there. So some are going to be sa ta'lamun, some might be sofa ta'lamun. And the difference, one of the differences as far as I remember, is when a sa is used, it's talking about near future. And when sofa is used, it's talking about further away future. That's as a general. I don't know if that's happening in every single case, but that's a general rule. Sa is like close future, like immediate future, and sofa is like further future. So easy way to remember, sofa takes longer to say, so it's longer future. Sa is short, so it's shorter future. Might mean soon. Yeah, maybe it can mean soon as well. I just want to just look at these two words here. I always used to get mixed up in usrin and yusran. فَإِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا. Now, which one means hardship and which one means ease? Anybody got any easy ways of remembering it? Which one with tajweed is harder to say? Usrin or yusran?
Usrin is harder.
Usrin is harder because usrin, you got to get the ayn out, yeah? So usrin, that's harder to say, so it means hardship. It's the word for hardship. Yusran is nice and easy. Yusran is flowing off the tongue. That's the way to remember. That's the word that means ease. And that's how I remember it. Yes, that's also, alhamdulillah, Sister Zainab said a really good point there. Okay. If it's a person's name, it's going to have a good meaning. So you're not going to have somebody called hardship. You're going to have somebody called Yasir, Yasar, Yasir, for example. So that's another easy way to remember. If you think of a word and think, oh, wait a minute, at least I want to know whether I might not know the meaning, but I want to know if it's a sort of a positive word or a negative word. Think, is it a name of somebody? Nasir, Nasir, Zakir, is it a name of somebody? Yeah, then it's most likely it's going to have a good meaning. So Jazakallah khair, Sister Zainab, that's a really fantastic one as well. Right, so are you happy with that? The future context, the context of the sentence will tell you it's the future. Number 2 is when sofa is put in front of a present verb. And number 3, when sa is attached onto the present verb. Yeah, comes after. Okay, so ya comes after ain, so ease comes after hardship. Okay, that's a good way as well, Juwaria, Sister Juwaria. Okay, so good. It's interesting to find how many different ways people learn things. Right, so that's all. Future tense is done. It's finished. That's all it is. The context of the sentence is in the future, so you know it's future. A present verb is used. Sofa comes in front of a present verb, and sa attaches onto a present verb. That's it. Future done. Let's look at this example. Qulillahu, say Allah, yuhyikum, He gives life to you all. He gives life to you all. He gives life to you all. 6 words. And in Arabic, it's just yuhyikum. So say Allah yuhyikum, He gives you all life. Thumma, then yumitukum, He causes you all to what?
Death.
Mata
Die.
yamutu,
Die.
die. So he causes you to die. Thumma, then yajma'ukum ila yawmil qiyamati, then He will gather you all on the day of resurrection. This is just the context of that verse. So He gives you present verb, but it's talking about the day of judgment, so it becomes future, just by the context of that part of the sentence. La rayba, no doubt, fihi, in it, walakinna, lekin. In Urdu we say lekin, same word. Walakinna and but. Akthara, again in Urdu we say akthar, which means a
Often.
lot. Yeah, or most, walakinna and but akthar nasi, most of mankind, la ya'lamuna, they all do not know. So this is just showing you the sentence, and honestly, you can maybe have a stab at all of this verse now. Okay, you need to know yuhyikum, I need to know maut, but with the rest of it, we've done maut as well. We've done hayya as well, I think. So you should now be able to translate, if you've done your tables and if you learnt your vocabulary and if you've done all the things that you were supposed to do.
Okay, when you're hungry, okay. About 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
I just muted that person. It feels such a nice feeling when I meet people, right?
Does rayba mean doubt?
Sorry?
Does rayba mean doubt?
Yes. So la rayba means no doubt. Yeah. Right, so if you can translate this, you're doing well. If you can't translate this, you just need to go back and revise your tables and understand why you can't decode it. It's maybe some words you don't know, or it's just some templates that are going out of your mind. If it's the first time you're doing this course, yes, it's going to happen, no problem. Just keep revising those tables until they become like water. They just flow. Okay, so right, that was that. Do you want to have a break? I think we just do a 5-minute break today, I think, because we've got quite a bit to cover. Can we just do you want to do a 5-minute break now before we go on to the next part?
Need to go for Isha.
No.
To go Isha, you want 10 minutes?
Yes, please.
It's not till 15:15 here, so can we carry on?
Sorry?
Oh,
Isha's not till 15:15 here, so could we carry on?
I'm in London. Mine came at 7:30.
Okay, so what time then? Should we do another 5?
We normally have a break at 30:30, don't we?
30:30. Oh, should we do 30:30 then, yeah?
Than everyone, because our Isha comes in later as well.
Okay then. We'll just go a bit longer, yeah, inshallah.
Sorry, Londoners.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry, Manx here.
Okay, so we're going on to verbs now. We're still doing the present verb. We've not finished with the present verbs yet. So verbs have moods. Present verbs have moods. Think of them as cases, but for verbs. It's just, mood is just an English word used to describe the state of the verb. I'm not aware that there's any specific Arabic word that is used for this. You just call it the state of the word, for example, but we'll call it moods. It's just like cases, very similar to cases, but it's not that complicated, inshallah. So Arabic words, the present tense verbs have moods. The moods are called marfu, mansub, and majzoom. Okay, so marfu come in present verbs, mansub also comes in present verbs, and majzoom also comes in present verbs. I'll explain, don't worry about it, inshallah. It's not too complicated, inshallah. So this is just information. I wouldn't even worry too much about that. You can have a read of that. But this is an example of a marfu verb. Look, yaktubu. The dhamma at the end, isn't it? You can see the dhamma at the end. That's yaktubu. It's a marfu verb. This one here is an example of a mansub verb. We've already done mansub, marfu, and majroor, haven't we? It's very similar. This is mansub verb because it's got a what at the end? A fatha, a zabar. And then this one, there's no majroor. It's got a jazm. It's got a sukoon. When I was small, when I learned the sort of Pakistani way, they call this a jazm. So this is what majzoom is. It's jazmified. This one is mansubified. This one is marfu'ified. This one is majzoomified. It's got a jazm at the end. Yaktub. And just like the cases that we did in nouns, the meaning doesn't change. Yaktubu means he writes. Yaktuba means he writes. Yaktub means he writes. The reason why I'm telling you this, one of the reasons, is so if you see in the Quran a yaktuba, it means the same as yaktubu. It's just something came before it that caused it to change. That's all. That's all that happened. It's usually used in these sort of things. Should, would, may, might. He might write, he should write, he would write. Whereas this one is he writes, he is writing. It's much more default. And then this one is expressing a wish or command, making a prohibition, negating a past tense. Don't worry about that because you will learn, you'll see what's going on, inshallah. But is everybody happy just with that for the time being? That there is a marfu way of saying he writes, there is a mansub way of saying he writes, and there is a majzoom way of saying he writes. Are you happy with that so far?
Is this only on the root form of the verb, the he writes or he kills or he, or is the mood also applicable to other forms of the verb? Because things like taktubani, it
Yes.
ends.
Yes. So it's applicable to the whole table. So yaktubu, yaktubani, yaktubuna, the whole table is marfu, what we've done so far. And when it becomes mansub, yes, you get some modification to the whole table. So it doesn't just apply to yaktubu, it applies to yaktubani, yaktubuna, taktubu, taktubani, it applies to all of them, which we will look at inshallah in a bit. Yes? And it's only apply, these moods only apply to present verbs, not past verbs. Past verbs don't have moods, but these do, and we'll see inshallah what happens. Okay? Don't get too worried, inshallah, it's not too hard, I don't think, inshallah. Right, so this, we recognize this table here. Yaktubu, yaktubani, yaktubuna. Taktubu, remember we've done this one. We've done this. So the table that we did is the marfu table. I didn't tell you that last week because you won't come this week. Right? So that was the marfu table. That's the default one where there's nothing coming before it that causes it to change. So you will normally by default say yaktubu, he writes. Taktubu, you write. Aktubu, I write. There's no controllers. Controllers are basically a name given to certain words that will come and mansubify the present verb. So there's no controllers, there's no word in front of these words. It's going to be marfu always. Let's look at the next one. These are controllers. We call these controllers in English. In Arabic, I don't know if there's any particular name for them, but these are the words that if they were to come in front of a present tense verb.
Can you go downstairs, please?
Yes,
Go
okay.
downstairs.
Okay. Right, yes. So these are the verbs. These are the words. If they come in front of a present verb, they will make the next verb mansub. So these are the mansubifying controllers, the mansubifying set of words. And what do they do to the table? So if they come in front of a present verb, it does this to the table. So the last, if you look at this, look at the singular ones, they've all become, can you see? This is marfu, mansub, marfu, mansub. Look, if you look at the singles first, what's going on? All the dhamma endings from the marfu table are changing to, what are they changing to?
Majroor.
Mansub, a fatha. A fatha is coming at the end, right? Yeah, so the dhamma is changing to a fatha, and we know the fatha ending is a mansub ending. So from these singular words, the dhamma is changing to a fatha when one of these controllers comes before it. So if I say yaktubu, that's fine. But if I say an, then it's going to be yaktuba. An yaktuba. An yaktubu does not work. Breaking grammar rules. It's going to be an yaktuba. Hatta yaktuba. Lan yaktuba. It's not going to be lan yaktubu because this is a mansubifier. These are mansubifying words. When they come in front of a present tense verb, they make it mansub. So the endings all the dhamma endings become with a fatha on. The next thing you notice, what do you notice about these? What's going on? What is the mansubifier doing to this? It's knocking the noon off. It's knocking the noon off here, 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 oops, here. So these noons have all knocked off. They've disappeared. Why? Because a mansubifier controller came in front of it. And also, if you look at these two, plural 3m, plural 2m, the noon has come off. Now, I want you to tell me which two don't change. Which two verbs don't change? Sorry? Yaktubna. And?
Taktuba.
Yes. So taktubna, yaktubna, look, all the noons have disappeared. Even the noon of this one, taktubina, has become taktubi. But these two noons have remained. So I just want to explain to you something. Whenever you see yaktubu, this is one of the other benefits of learning this table or learning this modification. If you see yaktubu in the Quran, it means the same as yaktubuna. Yaktubu means the same as yaktubuna. Taktubu means the same as taktubuna. All that happened is a controller, one of those mansubifying words, came in front of the present verb and caused the noon to drop. The meaning of the word is still the same. So if you see yaktubu, it means the same as yaktubuna. It's just some grammar is going on that's caused the noon to drop off. But we can see the feminines, the feminine ones, they don't change. So an easy way to remember it, the three or more women are super strong. Forget Arnold Schwarzenegger here. We're talking the three women are super strong. Not even a controller can come and change them. Right? So I'm saying something positive, I think, there. Right? So yaktubna and taktubna, the noon doesn't drop. They're super strong. Controllers can't come and drop the noon of the 3+ women. Right? Okay? I used to say something else, but I think that was a bit not well received, so I don't say that anymore. Right? So here we go. So we got this one, okay? Anybody got any questions so far? I'll put you all to sleep.
You have to understand it to have questions. I have no.
I think we just need a bit of time to process the whole information.
Yes. Okay. I will try. I will just go over this again, inshallah. So
It's so helpful. I've always been confused when reading the translation. Why is it plural, but the word doesn't look like a plural?
yes, and
Now
this is
it-
maybe why. This is maybe why, because it is actually still the plural, but it's just one of those words came. So this is the marfu table that we all learnt. This is the table we all learnt last week, and this is in the mood of marfu. It's a marfu. It's the default position a word is written. It's a default way a word is written. Only when some particular words, when these words come in front of these words, this word here, any one of these words, then it's going to modify the ending. These are going to mansubify the ending. It's going to change the ending. It doesn't change the meaning, it just changes the ending, the way the word looks. It changes the ending to this. So from this ending here, yaktubu, it becomes yaktuba. When an or a lan or a li comes before yaktubu or taktubu, it changes it to yaktuba. The ending changes because these words are the mansubifying words. They're the mansubifying controllers that will make the next present verb mansub. And the way you can tell these are mansub is the dhamma has changed for a fatha. The dhamma has changed for a fatha. It's become mansub. It's because one of these words has come before the present verb. And also with the rest of them, the noons drop off. So I can say yaktubani, that's fine. But if I say an, I can't say an yaktubani. No, I can't say that. If I put an there, it's going to cause the verb to become mansub, which means the noon comes off. It would have been yaktubani, but if I say an, it's going to be yaktuba. An yaktuba. I can't say an yaktubani, because this is a mansubifier. It makes this one mansub, and for verbs, this is the mansub table. It's the marfu one, dropping the noon, just dropping the noon. If you see yaktubu written, it means the same as yaktubuna. But what happened is that an came before it, or a hatta came before it, or a kay came before it. One of these words came before yaktubuna and changed it to yaktubu. Yaktubu means the same as yaktubuna. Taktubu means the same as taktubuna. Taktubi means the same as taktubina. It's just that one of those mansubifying controllers came and knocked off the noon. Hope that is a bit.
Yeah, that really does make sense.
Okay, hope so. Yeah, it takes a
I
bit of
think it
time.
makes it. I think all these little things they, add to the rhythm. I think when you're reading out loud.
Without a doubt, I mean, it adds to the beauty. You know, when you put the grammar and everything in it, it just makes it so beautiful. And so, but the main take-home lesson I wanted to teach you and to know is that yaktubuna and yaktubu mean the same thing. Taktubuna and taktubu mean the same thing. Yaktubani and yaktuba mean the same thing. Yaktuba and yaktubu mean the same thing. It's just had some slight modification to it. As long as you know, even with that modification, it still means the same thing, job done. And it's only modified because one of those modifying words, the mansubifying words, which is these here, have come before the verb and have made it mansub. And this is how
So
it
we can.
Yes.
Sorry. So we can't translate it word by word then, because if we put li in front of yaktuba,
Yeah. So
we
then,
translate it word by word, then
yes.
that will give a different meaning.
Yeah, it'll give you a different meaning, a different mood of the sentence, but the word yaktuba still means he writes. It'll just mean like, so, like, for example, until he writes. Like, for example, look, hatta yaktuba, until he writes. It's still he writes, but it's until he writes. It's like something, the mood has changed now. The meaning of the whole sentence is now a bit different, but the word still means he writes.
So you can't translate li as in for, and then, no, you can't. No,
So if li with the verb means for, then you say, yeah, it might, yeah, okay, so we'll have to see some examples to see what it's going to do. Okay, but yeah, you have to have. We'll look at an example and see. Right. So this is this. Let's look at this example. Ya'lamu means, so this is marfu. Why is this marfu? Because no controller is coming before it. So he knows. He knows ma yaliju. What yaliju. So here, sister, what you're asking is a present verb, but this still means what. So I think it's when it comes in front of a past verb, then it becomes not. Then it becomes a negation. Right? So he knows what yaliju enters. When we go to our houses, what do we read? Bismillahi wa
Walajna.
walajna. Yaliju walajna, we enter. So he knows what enters, what goes in, fil ardi, in the earth, wama, and what yakhruju, it leaves, minha, from it. So he knows what enters into the earth and what leaves from it. Yes. So here it's just showing you the ya'lamu. It's ya'lamu because no controller is coming before it to make it mansub, to make it a majzoom. In this case, waliya'lama. Now look. So over here, the li means that, and that he knows, and that he may know. So it still means he knows, but and that he knows, or and that he may know. In some translations, you might get and that he knows, Allah A'lam. But over here, and that he may know. You know, it's virtually the same thing. Well, not virtually the same thing, but it's very similar. It has the translation is very slightly changed there. Maybe because the li is come now, so and that he may know. It'd just be interesting to see if this translation is different in other translations. Just give me 2 minutes. 57:25. 57:25. I just want to, inshallah, see 57:25. And that Allah may test. Okay, so this is even a different translation. We just see this one. And that Allah may test. Okay, so actually, am I looking at the right one? I'll have to look at it in the break. I'm maybe not sure if I'm looking at the right one. Okay, but just take it as this, and that he may know. Now look, the li has come. It's a mansubifier. So what has it done to the meme? It's made it mansub. Because li is a mansubifying controller. It's one of those words or letters that when it comes in front of a present verb, it's going to make that into a fatha. So it's not going to be وَلِيَعْلَمُ. It's going to be وَلِيَعْلَمَ. And again, these are already written in the Quran for us. As long as we know that ya'lamu, it would have been ya'lamu, but this word came in front of it, and it's caused that to become a fatha. This is applied to the verb qalu, and it won't apply to the verb qalu because qalu is past tense. It doesn't happen to past tense. It's only present tense verbs. Okay, so that's an example. Do you guys want a break? Break time. Yeah, okay, we can have a break now. Now you know why I wanted to give you a break earlier on, yeah? So you have your 10-minute break, and I'll see you inshallah in 8:40 inshallah. I'm still here for anybody who wants to ask questions, but there's a 10-minute break inshallah. Stop the recording. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. Right. So we're going to continue inshallah. So these are the mansubifying controllers. When they come in front of a word, they change it to this. The dhammas end in and change into fatha. The noons all drop off except the super powerful plural women. 2F and 3F. They don't change. Everything else, noon gets dropped and the endings change from dhamma to fatha. So that happens when any of these words comes in front of a present verb. These words are all separate except this one here. This one will actually join onto the present verb. Right, so we've done that. Again, this is grammar, and a lot of it you don't need, but I'm working to something else. That's why I'm working up to something else. I'm driving you up to something else. That's why I'm showing you this. So one of the benefits we get is ya'lamu, ya'lama. It might look like that. Let's look at these again. Yaktubu, yaktubu, yaktubuna. Yaktubuna, yaktubu, same thing. The noon has dropped. The meaning of the word is the same. Yes, when you add one of these words on the sort of where the tinge or the mood of the sentence is going to slightly change, but it's still yaktubu is the same as yaktubuna. Just the noon has dropped because of a grammar rule that says when these words come in front of this word, then the noon drops into that. Okay, so we've got another one now. These are in English you call it jussive. Majzoom is called jussive in English, the jussive mood. We're going to call it majzoom. Majzoom is basically when the verb has been jazmified. It's been sukunified. Yeah, sukun comes, a jazm comes. And that happens when a present verb is preceded by any of these. Lam, la, fal, and wala. Lam, did not. La, do not. La, that. Fal, so let. Wala, that. When any of these words come, and this is the final set, when any of these words come in front of a present tense verb, what it does that. So look at the mansoob one. Here we go. Look at the mansoob one and tell me the difference. What's the only difference that's happening?
The fatha. The fatha of the Quran.
Exactly. The fatha is becoming majzumified. It's becoming sukoon. It's becoming a jazm. Jazm is a sukoon. So it just, instead of yaktuba, it's just going to be yaktub. That's it. This is majzoom, the majzoom table. It's the same as the mansoob table, except the fathas at the end have become jazm. That's it. That's it. So these are the controllers for jazm, majzoomifying, the majzoomifying controllers. When they come in front of a present verb, they will change the endings. The noons are already dropped like it was in mansoob, except the women. And all the fatha endings have become jazm. They've become sukoon. So naktub instead of naktuba. Naktub instead of naktuba. Now, yeah, the meaning of this word is going to change the mood of what this translates as or what the whole thing means. But naktub is the same as naktuba, which is the same as naktub. So that's all happens. So these are majzoom. This is the majzoom table. This is the mansoob table. That is the marfu table. The main difference between marfu and mansoob, that's the biggest difference. Marfu, all the noons are present. Mansoob and majzoom, the noons have all disappeared except the super strong plural women. And these, in majzoom, that's become a jazm, it's become a sukoon. In the mansoob world, these have a fatha. And that's pretty much the difference. That's all pretty much the difference is. So in your test next week, I'm going to ask you to just reproduce the translation of the words, but they're just going to be mansoob words. So all you have to look out for is a noon dropping. The noon's dropping and the singular endings changing.
Can I just ask a question then, as an example, please? So
Yeah.
if we had, is that lam did not, yaktub, he did not write. Is that how it would be?
Yeah, so let's just see lan. Just make sure we get the right. 1 second.
Yeah.
So lan, will not or never. Yaktub. Yaktuba.
Yaktuba. No, the next one. Is it the jussive? Majzoom. On the majzoom.
Okay, yeah, we'll do, yes. La. This one, yeah? La.
The one above I was looking at.
Lam.
Oh, we could do la. Yeah, either
Lam, lam is for a past tense. You use
yes,
that
I've just seen it. Negate, yeah. So
well, no,
la.
sorry. It'll be present tense, but it translates into past tense. Okay, so let's do lam. Let's do lam.
Okay.
Lam did not
Yeah.
yaktub. So he writes lam, he did not write.
Okay.
It still means he writes, but when you put lam, then you have to, yeah, you won't say he did write not. You're not going to say that. You're just going to say he did not write. So when you put a lam in front of a present verb, it changes it to a past tense negation. Like, قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ اللَّهُ الصَّمَدُ lam yalid. Why is it not yalidu? Because lam came before it. Lam came before it and made it into majzoom. So that's why you don't say lam yalidu. If the lam isn't there, you're going to say yalidu, generally. But the lam changes it into majzoom, so it becomes lam yalid. Lam yalid majzoom. You get it? So then it becomes a past tense negation. None is born of him, or none was born of him. Yep. Again, as long as you know what lan means and you know what the verb means, you will know the meaning, inshallah. You'll be able to understand the meaning, inshallah. Okay, so I'm just going to go through this. I'm not going to concentrate too much on this, but what does jussive mood mean? It just means this. It's like when you're expressing a wish or command, it's like just described as the majzoom way. So when you're expressing a wish or command, فَلْيَعْمَلْ, you're commanding there, the fal comes, so let him do, let him work. Amalan salihan, righteous actions. So just let him work. So the translation very slightly changes because you're going to have to say fal, you're going to have to say let him work. So it's just like a different sort of mood. It's expressing a wish or you're commanding. Over here, the jussive mood is also used for prohibition. So la taj'al. Taj'alu means you make. La taj'al means do not make. You do not make. You're saying it to a singular, you're saying it to a person, a male. Taj'alu means you make. La taj'alu, not you make. So don't make. Do not make. If you want to translate it literally, maybe it's still going to keep taj'al means you make. La, not you make. So you're just going to say it, do not make. So whenever there's a prohibition, the verb becomes jazm. La taj'al ma'allahi ilahan akhar. La taqtulu anfusakum. La tanabazu. La tajassasu. See, there's no noon ending because it's become majzoom. It's not tajassasuna. It's la tajassasu. It's majzoom. So this is what a mood is. You're prohibiting something, so it's called a jussive mood. Expressing a wish or command, jussive mood. Negation of past tense, lam ya'lam. Lam means, okay, it's negation of this. So this is he knows. This makes it past negation. He did not know. So this is what we call a mood. It's just a different certain set of words that is set in the mood of the sentence of the verb. Strengthening is also used to strengthen. So وَلَيَعْلَمَنَّ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. I need to find out what's going on here actually, because that's not majzoom. I think it's not majzoom because there's a noon shad after it, so it becomes a fatha. Don't worry about it though. All you need to know, some words, when they come in front of a present verb, the present verb ending will change. That's it. As long as you know what la means, as long as you know what taj'al means, you will know la taj'al means do not make. It's just that it's not going to say taj'alu, it's going to become taj'al because that lam is a majzumifier of this word.
Can you please explain the negation of past tense?
Yes?
Because ya'lamu is present tense?
Yes. So ya'lamu is present. But it's the rule in Arabic that when a lam comes in front of a present verb, the whole thing becomes past tense. So ya'lamu means he knows. Lam ya'lamu means he did not know. So when a lam comes, not only does it negate, it also changes the meaning to past tense, even of a present tense verb.
Okay, but if that was a past tense, so he knew, which is alamu, oh, I can't remember what it was. What was he knew?
Alima means to know.
Alima. Okay, so that it also means he knew. So what would that be the same thing as la alima, or do you never write it that way and always write it this way?
I don't think la alima. It might be ma alima. Ma means not in that case. So I don't think you write lam alima. Lam, you only put lam for maybe only for present tense verbs. And there's some significance that why is it done like that? Why does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say lam yalid, and why doesn't it use the past tense verb? And that's maybe balagha, or it's maybe eloquence or something else. Why does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala use lam yalid and not la or ma, whatever it would be in the past verb? Why did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala use the past verb? I don't know. But this lam, as far as I know, it's used for a present verb, but it makes the whole two words become in the past tense.
Thank you.
Okay, so we've got 15 minutes left. This is going to be difficult to complete. This is going to be difficult to complete. I might just go over it, inshallah, next lesson. So the imperative is why I taught you this. The imperative is basically when you're commanding someone, or you're requesting someone, or you're making dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you're going to use the imperative form. The imperative form is fi'l amr, which means it's the command form. You use the command. So where you get a verb like kataba, means to write, he wrote. How are you going to now command that verb, write? Ja'ala
We call
means...
it bossy verbs.
Sorry?
I'm sorry. I was going to say, we call them bossy verbs, and so you would just say write.
Okay, bossy verb. Okay, bossy verb.
Yeah.
Right, so
that's how we...
So ja'ala means to make, ij'al means make. I'm bossing you, yeah? Bossy verb, right? But it's bossy verb sometimes, command, but sometimes it's a request. You're going to use the same way to request, and you're going to use the same way to do dua. That's why this is bossy, that one command. But this one here, you're going to use the same pattern. But when you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then it's not a command, it's a dua. It's the same word you use though. So we're going to learn how to make the imperative. What we've done, right? We're going to learn how to make the imperative, how to make the bossy verb from a past verb. So I think we've got 20 minutes left, inshallah. I'm going to, if you open up your pages, your books on the page for this, what page is this on? Anybody can tell me? Can anybody tell me?
53.
53. Yeah, 53. So open this slide up at page 53. You're going to have to, if we do a few examples, inshallah, you will get this. And I just want to show you this, and then inshallah we're done. We're not going to have enough time to do the verses. Maybe in the revision class we can look at the verses, inshallah. So the imperative, first of all, when you're using the bossy verb, okay, I like that, yeah? Who are you addressing? Second person or third person?
Second.
Second person. You're addressing somebody who's in the room or somebody who can hear you. In case Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is above, but He hears us. So you're addressing somebody who can hear you. So you use the second person verb. I'm either going to command a brother, two brothers, or many brothers, or I'm going to command a sister, two sisters, or three sisters. That's it. So we just look at the second person part of the tables we've done. So I'm just going to do this example to show you. If you look at this slide, I'm going to call the whiteboard up. I don't know how this is going to happen, but I'm going to try it, inshallah. New share, whiteboard. Okay, right. I'm going to use my finger on the screen, so it might not be. Let's just try changing that. We're just going to go over this inshallah together. Right. So what I want you to teach you in these next 15 minutes is how to convert a root word to command form, to bossy verb. Right? So let's just take kataba. I'm just going to write kataba here. I hope it works, inshallah. Right, I'm on rubber. That doesn't help. Right, let's try again. Ka, da, ba. Yeah. Da, ba. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Right. So that's the root word. Is everybody happy with that?
Yep.
Okay. Look at that slide that I had on there. This one here. What does it say? So I want to convert this into kataba means he wrote. I want to tell somebody write. So I get this kataba, and if you look at step 1, it says cutting off the ta prefix from the second person jussive verb. So you have to convert this into second person verb, then second person jussive verb. So jussive majzoom verb. So can somebody translate first kataba into second person present? Kataba becomes, I'm telling a brother. Kataba becomes
Yaktubu.
taktubu. So I'm going to change this to taktubu first. Oops. Right, so let me just get a rubber out and change this. So tak. Let me just mute that. So tak to. That's a dhamma, okay? Taktubu.
Sorry, did you not say second person mansub?
No, yes I did. But I've just made it into second person marfu first. Taktubu. Now I need to make it into second person majzoom. So taktubu becomes, have a look at your tables. So taktubu becomes taktub. Taktub. So I'm just gonna, shall I put a circle there? I'll just leave it. That's taktub. So we've made it into second person majzoom. This is why we learnt majzoom. I've made it into second person majzoom. Taktub is done. Now it says cut off the ta, knock off the ta, delete the ta from this. So I'm going to delete it with an eraser. Gone. It's gone, yeah? Look at step 2. If what remains behind, if what remains begins with a letter having a sukoon, add an alif. So now that I've knocked that ta off, what it's saying is look at this next letter. Does it have a sukoon? Or does it have a haraka? Does it have a fatha dhamma kasra or does it have a sukoon? This letter is sukoon. It has a sukoon. Can you start off an Arabic word with sukoon?
No.
No. So what do? You
Wasl.
you put an alif there, okay?
So it becomes ak or ik.
We're coming. You put an alif there because this one had a sukoon. So we have to put an alif there. Right, next one, third one. The vowel of the alif is a dhamma if the letter after this one, this letter here, If that's a dhamma, then you put a dhamma here. So you would put a dhamma here, right? If this letter here, can you see this? Can you see this pencil that I'm pointing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Good. Right. So if this was that rule 3 says if this was a fatha, a zabar, or a kasra, then you would put a kasra here. So in this case, uktub means bossy word. You write. It means write. So this is how you convert a word into a root word into a command form verb. So for example, let's just do another one. Right, let's do another one. I'd rather just do a few more examples and end it there, inshallah. We've got 10 minutes. Let's do another one, inshallah. Right, so just think of one that's got a thingy.
Iqra.
Okay, iqra, yeah?
Ready? Or come on.
Irji.
1 second, just 1 second. The ending's different on iqra, so let me just see how to get the ending right. 1 second. Okay, qara'a, okay? So, qara, I'm just going to write it like it's doing it in this one. Okay, so qara'a. Oops. Qara'a. Okay, can you see that? And it's a bit broken, it's my screen and my finger. Can you see qara'a?
Yes.
So, what does qara'a mean? It's a root word, so it means?
To read.
Okay, so he read. Now, what you want to do, you want to command a brother. At the moment, we're just commanding a brother, a male. So first, you need to convert it into present tense. Let's convert it to present tense. What does it become?
يقرأ.
Iqra.
Taqra'u, taqra'u, because it's second person. Ta? Okay, taq. Need to get rubber out. Taqra'u. Taqra'u. Happy with that? Right. Now what do? You make it majzoom. So it's going to become taqra.
Oh.
No, taqra'u is marfu. Taqra. Taqra. Remember the ending becomes jazm for majzoom. So taqra. So we've got the jazm, we've got the majzoom, second person, we've done it. Now we knock off the what?
The ta.
Knock off the ta. Let's knock off the ta. Gone. Now look at this letter. Does it start off with a sukoon?
Yes.
Yeah, so you can't start a word in Arabic with sukoon. So what do you have to do?
Alif.
Put an alif there. Now look at the next letter, this one. If it is a dhamma, a pesh, then you're going to put a dhamma, you're going to put a pesh on there. If it is a fatha or a kasra, if it's a zabar or a zair, what are you going to do?
You put the
You're
kasra.
going to put a kasra, you're going to put a zair on there. Iqra. Yeah, iqra. So this is where, let's do another one because the more examples we do, the more, inshallah, I'll get in the head. Let's just think of
Is it the rule of Hamzatul Wasl?
yes, so Hamzatul Wasl, we can maybe speak about another time though. I think it's going to be too
Okay.
much for people. Yeah. And I can feel everybody's up to here anyway, so I don't want to knock them off completely. Right, so let's
And
just,
also, Brava, where is the controller? Because
okay, for command, there's no controller. You're just changing it. You make it majzoom as part of the process of making it command form. So you make it majzoom because that's the steps you use to make it into command form. Let's just do another one so it sticks in the head a bit more. Yeah. Okay, ja'ala. Ja'ala. Oops. Right, ja'ala. So, ja'ala means he made. Right, he made. So I'm telling a brother now, again, a brother. Brother, make me a cup of tea. I don't know if you're going to use it in that way, but I'm just saying make. Like, make me a Lamborghini, right? So, what do you do first? You bring it into present tense. Present tense first, yes? You might want to, I've just put 3 rules there. I've just put 3 rules there because that's what the book did. But you might want to put some sort of subgroups in there, like baby steps. Make it present tense first. So, this becomes taj alu. So, taj alu. And you can use this while making dua. If you're asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you can use these same words. You can convert it in your head and make sure you know the command form. But with Allah, it's not command because you can't command Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. With Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's the same pattern, but it's a dua. We're asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we're begging Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but it's the same word we would use. But with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we're asking Him. But we'd use the same imperative word. So, okay, taj'alu. So, let me just do that to taj'alu. Right. Taj'alu. Now what do? Step 2 of our mini steps. We make the verb majzoom. So taj'alu will become taj'al. Done. Now what do? Knock off the ta. Now what do? Look at this letter here. If this letter has
Sukoon.
if it has a sukoon, you can't start off a word with sukoon. What do you have to do?
Add a alif.
Add a alif. Then look at the next letter here. If it has a dhamma, you're going to put a dhamma there. If it has a fatha or a kasra, ij'al. Done. Ij'al means make me that Lamborghini. Okay? So I'm going to just do the same verb again, but I'm not going to be speaking to one person. I'm going to be speaking to plural people. So we'll just do it again because I want to show you the other ones as well. Right, let's just do the plural now. The same verb, but we're not talking to one person now. We're talking to many people. So, ja'ala. I'm going to do all again, inshallah. Ja'ala. Ja'ala. This is I don't have one of those stylus pens that, just got my finger and that's what it's doing. So, ja'ala. So, ja'ala means he made. I want to make this into present tense, but for many. For many. So, taj'alu means taj'alun. Taj'alun. Yes. So let me make it taj'aluna. Taj'a. I'm going to convert that into a wow. Convert that into a na. 1 second. Let me get my rubber out.
You all me.
Taj'a. Taj'aluna. So now we're getting ready to command many people to make me my Lamborghini. Many people I'm going to command now because I'm in the plural. That means you all make nice cars. You all make nice jokes, whatever. Maybe we won't use that word for nice jokes, but you know what I mean. So now I want to command you all make. So again, make it majzoom first. Make it majzoom. How are you going to make this one majzoom?
Drop off.
Drop off the noon. Fantastic. Let's drop off the noon.
Thursday, so next Thursday.
When you drop off the noon, an alif appears there. It's just in Arabic. You get an alif there, right? The noon is dropped off. An alif comes. You don't pronounce that. You don't read it, but you put an alif there. That's just in Arabic. So taj'alu is now majzoom. So now what do? Knock off the ta. What do you put? Is there a jazm here? Is there sukoon here?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can't start off a word with sukoon. So you have to put an
Alif.
alif. Okay. Now look at the next one. If that was a dhamma, this will be a dhamma. But this one is a fatha. So if it's a fatha or a kasra, you put a kasra there, yes?
اجعلوا اجعلوا
So ij'alu means you all make. وَلَا تَجْعَلُوا لِلَّهِ أَنْدَادًا. You all do not make, right? So ij'alu means you all make. You see, ij'al means you make, ij'alu means you all make, ij'ala means you two make. It'll be taj'alani, and then it becomes taj'ala, and then ij'ala. So the noon drops, but this is how ij'alu. Let's do another one quickly. We've got a few more minutes left. I want to do the woman one, because the woman one comes in the Quran as well. What is the verb? What is it? Okay, I'm going to do a woman one now, okay? I'm commanding a woman to do sajda, okay? I'm commanding a woman to do sajda. So, I'm just going to write the verb down. Sa,
Yeah.
ja,
I know what it is. I think you can't do it from your phone. You do it from my phone. I'm busy. You can't only send it home. Don't send it from.
just muted that person, whoever it was. Okay, so sa, ja, da. Sajada means he prostrated. He prostrated. That's the root word. Now I want to say to a woman, prostrate. Right? So I need to make it into a present verb for a single woman. So what does sajada become using your present verb tables? What does sajada become when I want to command a woman, when I'm talking about a woman that you do sajda?
That's
You do sajda. That's Ju? Nope, that's Judina. Yep. Look at your verb. It's 2F singular. Taktubina. That's Judina, yeah? Can you see that in your tables? It's a 2F. The 2F singular. Taktubina. That means you write woman. So for sajda, it's you do sajda. That's Judina. Are you happy with that? Nope.
Yes. Sorry, which slide does it say that on? Because on my slide for present tense, the jussive mood, it says taktubna.
No,
The
we're looking at
second.
singular. We're doing singular at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
Singular. That's Judina, yeah? So it'll be
So the
taktubina.
indicative mode, that's what we're doing.
Yeah, but we're putting it in before jussive. We just put it in normal. Yeah, indicative mode because we're doing it in baby steps. We put it in indicative mode, then we'll put it into jussive mode afterwards. Yeah. So indicative mode, the normal default is das Judina. Yeah, das Judina. Like taktubina.
In singular, did you
change it, please?
Yeah, singular.
Oh, right. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so yeah, I can see that now. Thank you.
Right. So das Judina. Okay. So that's Judina. Right. That's Judina. Now let's make it into majzoom. What's it going to be?
You have to drop the noon.
Exactly. That's Judy. Get my rubber out there. It's going to become Das Judy. Das Judy. Happy with that? Das Judy. We're talking to a singular, a woman. Singular. Now you knock off the what?
Alif
Right.
there.
This one starts off with sukoon, so what do?
You put the alif there.
Put an alif.
Put the
Look
dhamma.
at the next one that has a dhamma.
Yeah, usjudi.
Usjudu. Usjudi.
Usjudi. So usjudi means you woman prostrate. Usjud means you male prostrate. Usjudu. Yeah, after. Yeah. Usjudu is going to be you all prostrate. Not usjuduna. Usjudu, and Yeah, so that's how you do it. So the reason why I told you this usjudi is because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran says to Maryam alayhi salam, wasjudi warka'i ma'ar raki'in. Wasjudi. Now this is what the sister was saying. A wow. If you get a wow coming there, the alif sound drops because a hamzatul wasal. So it's not going to be wa usjudi, it's just going to be wasjudi. That's the tajweed rule. It's just going to become wasjudi. The alif is going to not be pronounced like bismillah. It's really bi ism illah. But the alif on that ism is hamzatul wasl, which means if a letter comes before it and joins on, you just sort of, the alif sound disappears. So bismillah, instead of bismillah, it's bismillah. Same with this one, instead of wa usjudi, it's just wasjudi. Warka'i, and do ruku ma'ar raki'in, with those who do ruku. So that's something that's already written in the Quran. Like wadhkuru, you all remember. Wadhkurullaha, you all remember Allah. It's not wa udhkuru, it's wadhkuru. It still is udhkuru, but the wow, when it comes, it'll sort of, the alif sound will just disappear. It'll just be wadhkuru.
Will it always be denoted by a shad, whatever that is in Arabic?
It will be done in the, it depends what Quran you're reading. I think if you're reading the I'm just in the Indo-Pak one, the alif I think has nothing on it, so you know not to read it.
No, the scene, would it have a shad on it?
Oh no, just a sukoon. Wasjudi.
Okay.
It'll be sukoon. Wasjudi.
Finally.
I'll just give another one, yeah? I know we're 18, but I think this is fun, isn't it? Is this fun? I'll give one more, yeah? So let's just do ذكر. 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 ذكر means?
To remember.
To remember. So I want to now command, just keep it simple. I want to command a brother, remember. So we will make it into present tense first.
Put it on charger. You make me out.
Yes, madam.
On charger, right, okay. So tadhkuru. It's going to become tadhkuru. So tadhkuru. Let me just change that. I think I can do it with the mouse. It's easier doing it with the mouse. Tadhkuru. Happy with that? That means you write, he writes, they write. This one means you write. Now we make it majzoom. So tadhkuru becomes
Tazkur.
tadhkur. Done. Now we knock off the what? Knock off the ta. We look. Oh, sorry, I need to change that. That's a sukoon there as well. The next letter has a sukoon, so what do you do? Add an alif. And look at the next letter. The next letter has a dhamma, so what do you put here?
Dhamma.
Udhkur means remember. That's the bossy word. Remember. And if I was going to do plural, you can sort of extract the plural from here. The plural is going to be udhkuru. Because udhkuru now would have been the normal one, but they're taking off the noon. Udhkuru means you all. Remember. And if I was going to say it to a sister alone, can anybody convert this to can anybody convert this to many sisters? I'm telling many sisters to remember.
Uzkurina.
Nope. Close.
Uzkurna.
Exactly. Who said udhkurna? That's the right one.
Kurna. No?
Yeah, no, udhkurna's right. Udhkurna, remember the feminines don't drop the noon. So udhkurna, it'll become dhakara, tadhkurna, udhkurna. So udhkurna means all you women exclusively remember. Right? So that's all it is for today. We learnt today the 3 ways you can make a word into plural. It's just the context of the sentence, or when you add sofa to the present verb, or when you add sa, attach it onto the present verb, it becomes mansub. Then we learnt that there's 3 moods in present verbs, and the default one that we already learnt is taktubu, that table, taktubu. When you stick some certain mansubifying words in front of taktubu, it's going to become taktuba. And for the plurals and the others, the noons drop, except the 3 plural women. And if you add another set of words, the majzumifying words, then they change taktubu to taktub. All the noons are still dropped. The ending, the fatha ending, changes to sukoon ending. And then we learned how to convert a past verb, root verb, into the command form. So, ij'al, rabbana ij'al, that's ij'al. Ij'al is there. Allahumma ij'al, that's ij'al. Allahumma, oh Allah, ij'al. But you don't say Allahumma ij'al, you say Allahumma ij'al. Oh Allah, make for me whatever, peace, make for me happiness. So that's where these words come. Udhkur means remember, wadhkur, and remember. The alif drops when the alif gets sort of swallowed when a letter like wow or another word joins onto it, the alif drops.
So, brother, because we change all the past root verb into a command, does it become present?
Yeah, it becomes present. It's present because it's present because you're commanding it now. So you only command in the present form, and it's only second person as well. You can't command third person. It's only second person, so it's only the 2F. And
No, I'm just charging it because I need it for tomorrow. Every Salah that you've missed, you're gonna go pray just as
Okay, caught somebody in that conversation there. So is that fine for everybody?
Yes.
Okay, so it's a bit of information to take in, but again, we've only have 2 lessons left now. Next week, to let you know what next week is going to be, it's just going to be a repeat of this same class, but with the words qala and kana, the weak verbs. We're going to do the weak verbs. That's it. We've already done all the base today. We're going to look at the marfu, the mansub, and the majzoom tables for qala and kana. You're going to do that yourself, inshallah. May need some tweak here and there, but it's going to be a repeat of this lesson, but with qala and kana. So next week, inshallah, will help in this class. A lot to memorize, Sister Hasina is saying yes. But if you think about it, you just need to know the modification of the table. Drop the noons and change the dhammas to fathas. And then the next one is drop the noons, change the dhammas to jazm. And then learn how to make the command form. So yeah, it may be a lot. But there's only 2 lessons left now. So we've done most you've gone over the hump. Now it's just a few things here and there. Lesson 10 will be some other things that, are interesting to know. If you don't know, it's not the end of, don't worry too much, but it's like, just a bit of extra information coming out to you, inshallah.
Are you going to repeat the class then after this one? The whole class?
Which one? The whole class?
You're going to do advance, yeah.
I
don't know yet.
I've got this. The thing is with that, I've got the slides, but I've not put them into a booklet. Yeah, so I've got a bit of work to do there. But I could do, but that's a lot of grammar. It's going to be a lot of grammar, so it's going to be like, it's going to be harder. But yeah, for the people who want to do it, inshallah, yes, you'll learn something, and I'll try to, inshallah, do something, try to get it on, inshallah.
You will be good if you do a booklet as well. It'll be lovely.
Yeah, that's what I need to do. So I've got the slides, but I need to put them all organize it into 10 lessons and put it into a booklet form, and then do a bit of revision myself, and then maybe we can do it. But what I was thinking of doing actually after this class, or maybe after Ramadan, inshallah, is I've got a book that goes over, it mentions the most frequently occurring sentences or phrases in the Quran. So rather than just learning one at a time, we learn the most commonly occurring phrases in the Quran, and we just go over them, go over the word to word, and learn them, sort of in the hopes that we're getting closer to understanding more and more of the Quran. So I was thinking of maybe doing that.
That'll be good.
That'll
Can I
be
ask
really
something
good,
about the
Neville.
time changes? You know, the clocks are going forward this weekend, aren't they? So are the times going to be different from next week? Because we
I
normally
think-
start at 7:30, but will Maghrib be around?
Yeah, if Maghrib
that
comes
time?
in, then we're gonna have
So-
to have a break for Maghrib, about 15-minute break, inshallah. So
So
I'll look at the timetable and see what sort of makes sense. But I want to still keep the same time because 7:15 till
it works, doesn't it?
yeah, because everybody's still coming back from home. If they come at 6:30, they still come out at 6:30 even after the time changed. So I think we should keep the time as 7:30, inshallah. But yeah, if Maghrib comes in, then we're going to have to read our Maghrib and stop the class for the Maghrib, inshallah. Then continue, inshallah. And then there's going to be two lessons that come in Ramadan as well. So we're going to have to think about when
Yeah,
to
what
do
will
them.
we do about that?
Maybe we do them on a Saturday at 2 o'clock or something. after
Yeah, I was going to suggest that it might be better for a lot
Because-
of us to do them on the weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
for the
didn't-
last one.
Yeah, I didn't plan this. It was planned to be completed before Ramadan, but we had one revision class extra, and I wasn't well.
Yeah, you
at the
mentioned
starting,
that last night.
so we couldn't start off. But next time, inshallah, I'll start it much earlier, inshallah. So Saturday 2 p.m. looks good. So inshallah, we'll put it on the group and see what everybody thinks, inshallah. Okay,
How do I get the book, please? How do I get the book?
this one.
Yes, yes, brother.
I can send you that inshallah on email. If you just send me, sorry, on WhatsApp. If you just
Okay,
send me
I'll-
a text message saying I'm the person who wanted the book, I'll send it you inshallah.
Okay, inshallah. Jazakallah.
Barakallahu feek. Or I'll just put it on the admin. I'll just put it on the main group. I'll put it on there so everybody can, if they want another electronic copy, they can have it.
Mm.
Okay then, Jazakumullah khairan. Just before I go, I'll tell you what you need to revise for the class, what's going to be in the test. So I'm basically just going to ask you for the verb ja'ala. Ja'ala means to make. So taj'alu, taj'alani, taj'aluna. But I'm going to give you the mansoob words or the majzoom words. I'm going to give you either the mansoob or majzoom words, and you have to translate it. It's pretty much just identical to what you did in the last test, but the noons are going to be dropped and the endings are going to be changed from a dhamma to a fatha or a jazm. That's it. The word is going to mean the same. So that's what you have to do, inshallah. And then you'll have there'll be 3 words that I want you to convert from past tense to bossy form, to command form. And then just a few verses that maybe occur in these last slides that I've not had time to go over. Okay, so that's it, inshallah. Any questions, just don't hesitate to message and ask, either on the group or individually. It's up to you.
Okay, brother, I can't make Saturday. Can you, if I miss the
Okay.
lesson, can you send us?
It'll be recorded,
Or-
inshallah. It'll be recorded, inshallah. But we'll see what suits best for everybody and do what the majority say, inshallah. Okay, jazakumullahu khairan. Jazakum, that means you all. Jazakumullahu khairan. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Wa alaikum salam.
Assalamu alaikum.
Jazakallah.